Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price on Tour and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we are going to be in a van or a touring truck, depending on how big your band is. We're going to be going around the country making music and selling out shows, because today we're going on tour. This is a roll and write style game from BoardGameTables.com. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. On Tour is played over multiple rounds, and each round there'll be different regions and states you can possibly go to when you're on tour with your band. Each player gets to select one of these really cool boards. I've got the light set up so you can sort of see this UV coating on here: jazz, country, hip hop, or rock. That doesn't really mean anything to the game, but it does give you a cool little feeling that your board's a little different, and they have the different instruments that have to do with that genre of music. Everyone gets to get one of these boards. Now everyone's board is going to look the same, other than, those instruments that are sort of around there. And everyone is going to start the game with the same 4 numbers. It's going to be sort of a randomized setup, but everyone will have the same setup. And essentially everyone's playing the same exact game, but everyone's board will look different at the end of the game. What you're trying to do is score the most points, and you'll mostly be doing so by taking your band on the longest route possible. But the trick is you're only going to be able to go in ascending order with the numbers that you end up drawing. Each round, 3 cards are going to come up, and someone's going to roll the dice. You're going to end up writing 2 numbers. You're going to write the number that you see here, 61, and you're also going to write the inverse, 16. Now, you're going to have to write those in 2 of these 3. So the 61 will go in one of these 3, and the 16 will go in the other 2 that you don't pick the first one in. So let's say we want to take this 61 and we want to put it in the south. Now you'll see that the south here is actually highlighted like this, so it's anywhere below that line there. And we're going to decide, you could put the 16 or the 61, but we're going to decide to put a 61, let's just say in Utah like that. Now you have to place it in an empty state. Now we're going to use the 16 and we're going to put it in the east region. Now here it shows a state. They all do that. If you write it in the exact state, you also circle it. This is going to get you some more points if your tour goes through that specific state. You then simply flip 3 new cards and roll the dice again. Now, if all 3 cards show the same region, in this case 2 of the 3 do, or doubles are rolled, you get to do what's called star powers. And what that allows you to do is place a star in any state in that region. And if you use one of the states that's actually on the card, you get to circle it as well. These stars are going to be wild numbers, so they're great because you'll be able to go through them very easily when you're making your long tour at the end of the game. Now players will continue this until all the states are filled, and then they're going to make their route. Usually it's going to be trying to go from one side to the other side. You're going to start with the smallest number you can. You're going to try to make a line, and it has to go to the same number or higher. And remember, the stars are wild. This is going 13 to 16 to 21, and we keep going all the way around and trying to find the route that gets us as many as we can. We write down the amount of visited states. We write down how many of the circle states that we actually visited, and those are an additional point, and we add them up, and whoever has the most is the winner. All right, the first thing I like about this game is the great presentation and sort of the thematic boards where they had rock and jazz and hip hop had microphones, and the jazz had the saxophone and trumpets and stuff like that. I like those different the presentation of those boards, and they look beautiful. This game has simple rules. I mean, roll a die and put the 2 numbers, the one way and flip it and do the other way and put it on your board. That's it. There's a lot to think about. It is a tough puzzle with the simple rules that I like. I like that everyone is playing the same exact game, but they'll all have sort of different results and different outcomes, and everyone's board will look different even though you played the same game, and I sort of like that. That means that you can play this with, if you're only limited to the amount of boards that you have, so you can play this with a huge convention full of people, and everyone's going to have a different sort of route that they went through. It's similar to a small roll and write game called Rolling America, which I reviewed and I really like a lot. But this one is a much more bigger, grandiose production, and it has sort of a little bit more going on with it. The doubles gives you sort of more flexibility, which I liked. It doesn't come up as often, but when it does, another little twist to the game, give it a little bit more depth. Playing with players with as many boards. It comes with 4 boards, but you can buy more boards online. And I like puzzling out the longer term route of where you think you're going to go over the course of the game. You kind of start it, then you might change that path. It's a good, interesting puzzle. On the negative side, I love the theme, but it's pretty much, it could have been any theme. It's very abstract, but that's typically what happens in roll and write games. The game is one of those spatial roll and write games, so if it might be a little bit too spatial for some. If you don't like moving things around and thinking how things might flow, might not be the game for you. And I would have liked to have seen like an advanced variant, like some hidden objectives, like going through certain cities or certain things like that. I would have liked to have seen one more level of depth here for the advanced players. But overall, I really enjoyed the game. If you're looking for that nice looking roll and write game that has a sort of a cool theme and is easy to learn but has a lot of depth there in the puzzle nature, then you're going to want to check out On Tour. Did you miss the Game Topper 2.0 Kickstarter? Have no fear, it's not too late to get in on the ultimate gaming accessory. Convert your table into a high-quality gaming table with a fully portable Game Topper system and take advantage of some of the best 3mm premium gaming mats in the industry. New styles, new sizes, and new accessories can be yours. Upgrade every game you play by late backing now at GameToppersLLC.com.